We're back! It's Crazy Taxi 2!
Well, crap. I just realized I can't play the official soundtrack of the game because the whole game soundtrack is copyrighted. You know what? Screw it. Sonic music's awesome, and there's no situation that you can't use it in. So, in honor of our new Discord member, who is a huge Silver the Hedgehog fan, Crazy Taxi 1 was a massive success, so naturally it was gonna get a sequel. But not in the arcades, it was exclusively on Sega's dying Dreamcast console, which sucks, because this console was awesome. You see, when people talk about Crazy Taxi, they hardly ever mention the two sequels. I only ever hear them talking about Crazy Taxi 1. There seems to be a lot of hate directed at Crazy Taxi 2, and Crazy Taxi 3 seems to have a very mixed reception, which I think is completely undeserved. Each game has their strengths, even if one game does something better than the other. There's no real definitive Crazy Taxi game in my opinion. So strap in, folks, into my Crazy Taxi. I will spend the next few minutes explaining the things Crazy Taxi 2 improved upon and the areas where it took a few steps back. So I'm gonna break this review up into sections and compare each section to the first one. The first category is the maps. So there are two maps in Crazy Taxi 2, a round apple and small apple. Now I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. The round apple map sucks. It's mostly just a bunch of long roads with hardly any shortcuts, and it all just blends in together and is very samey. And your biggest obstacle is traffic. Excuse me, I want to play Crazy Taxi, not Crazy Traffic Dodger. And worse yet, there's hardly any unique locations or memorable things in this map. The only thing I could remember when writing the script is the long-ass bridge. Yes, this single long-ass bridge was the only thing I could remember when writing the script. Small Apple, on the other hand, is a whole nother story. I mean, do I need to say anything other than the fact that you can drive into the subway and dodge trains? That's right, you can drive down the subway terminals and get on the subway with your taxi. It is batshit insane, and I love it. Now, as good as Small Apple is, I'm afraid it cannot compare to the quality of the original game's maps. Say the maps are bad or anything, well, yeah, a round apple is pretty bad. But Small Apple can still be a lot of fun. It's just, I think it's a downgrade from the original game. Next, let's talk about what was added to the gameplay of Crazy Taxi 2. For starters, there's the Crazy Hop, which is both useful and ridiculously illogical. Seriously, this thing defies physics so hard, it should come with a disclaimer from Sir Isaac Newton himself. Now, to be fair, it is a lot of fun to use. You can use it to get cool shortcuts and jump over traffic. So mechanically, it's a lot of fun, and it's a win. One cool enhancement is now you can pick up multiple passengers, and you'll make a ton of money doing so. But it's risky. Let me explain. For starters, on top of the huge pay bonus you get for picking up multiple passengers, all the bonus points you get for doing crazy stunts and crazy tricks is multiplied by how many passengers are currently in your vehicle. Downside is if you fail to deliver a single passenger to their destination, you lose all the money you accumulated. I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten 3 of the 4 passengers to their destinations on time, and the last one just hops out and I lose all the money. It sucks, and that is before we get to my last complaint about the gameplay: the difficulty. No joke, this game is way harder than the first one. Like, it times out constantly. While in the first game, I rarely ever ran out of time. In the second game, it's a pretty common occurrence for me to be trying to take someone to a destination and then just barely not make it and then literally hop out of the taxi. And this doesn't make that much sense to me, because the first one was an actual arcade game, and you'd think if one of them was to be hard, it would be the one that was designed to munch on quarters. But no, the harder one is the one that's exclusive to home consoles. But it doesn't make up for all the other negatives. So, Crazy Taxi 1 wins out in the gameplay department. Next up, let's talk about the soundtrack. And no offense to songs like All I Want or Americana, both those are amazing songs. But Crazy Taxi 2's soundtrack is leagues better than the first game. I mean, you even got songs like Come Out Swinging and No Brakes, which feel like they were specifically made for Crazy Taxi 2. Also, the band Methods of Mayhem is also featured in the game. However, The Offspring absolutely steal the show. However, Bad Religion is nowhere to be found for some reason. Not really sure why. Now, as much as I would love to play you some of it, unfortunately, it's all copyrighted. Meaning, I'm just gonna have to leave you a link in the description so you can check it out yourself. Alright, next up, let's talk about the 4 new characters that have joined in Crazy Taxi 2. First up, we got Slash. He's a short-tempered lunatic who drives a cab because he felt like it one day. Loyalty is his thing. That is, until he loses his temper. At which point, you should evacuate the city. And possibly the continent. Next up, we got the Iceman, who sounds like a real asshole. He doesn't take insults or criticisms. He also never gives out compliments and rarely responds to any given to him. Should you criticize him, his response is basically, "You got a problem with perfection?" Apparently, he became a taxi driver after he randomly picked up an old man and took him to his destination so fast, the old man gave him a huge tip. Which made Iceman decide, hey, you know I could make a ton of money being a taxi driver. So, that's what he did. He became a taxi driver. Also, he owns a boxer named BB, which he likes to hang out with. It's just randomly thrown into his bio. I thought I would point it out. Next up, we got the most normal and the youngest of all the taxi drivers. That is Cinnamon. She's cheerful and loves her job and just wants to make people smile. Honestly, she feels like she wandered in from a different game because there's nothing that crazy about her. Huh. And lastly, we have Hot D. Yes, that's really his name. He's a stuntman turned cabbie when he saw a cab zoom past him in the first game. Yeah, it turns out he was in West Coast, which is where the first game takes place, doing stunts for an action movie. When he saw the cab zoom past him and saw they were making crazy money. So he went back home, got his favorite car, painted it yellow, and became a taxi driver. Now, none of this backstory is necessary at all to play the game. Honestly, you wouldn't know any of this unless you read the manual. But it's still cool, and a lot of these backstories are pretty funny. Next up, let's talk about the Crazy Pyramid, which is the closest thing Crazy Taxi 2 has to a campaign mode. Think of it as like a challenge mode you play through to unlock cool stuff. Everything from maps of the cities to some truly bizarre stuff we'll get into in a minute. Unlike the first game's challenge mode, which was mostly very boring, Crazy Pyramid actually delivers some solid fun. I spent a ridiculous amount of time launching cabs over buildings and waterways. I just had a blast with this. I didn't beat it, but I did unlock a lot of really cool stuff. A lot of these have this ancient ruin architecture that's floating above the ocean. And I don't know where they got these ruins from. I don't know if they were brought in from another game or they were made specifically for Crazy Taxi. But I still think it's really cool, and it's definitely odd. I mean, they don't look like they belong here at all, but it's still cool that there's some variety. Also, some of these challenges are just straight up bizarre. Like this one right here, where you pick up passengers and are hopping between buildings to take them to their destinations. I don't know what's going on. I can't make any sense of it. I just know it's fun. And now we get to the unlockables. And oh boy, the name Crazy Taxi really starts to earn its stripes here. At first they start off relatively tame. You get a map of Small Apple and a map of a Round Apple. And then you start unlocking things that look like they were developed when the game designers were smoking crack and cocaine. First, you unlock a bicycle cab. It's not exactly efficient, nor does it look fun to drive, but it's weird. And then you unlock a freaking baby carriage. I am not joking. You push people around in a fucking baby carriage. So, after all is said and done, what do I think of Crazy Taxi 2? Honestly, it depends. This isn't a game you play seriously. It's a post-programming, hair-pulling relief valve. When reality's frustrating, Crazy Taxi lets you blow off some steam. And in my opinion, neither one is better. The first game has better gameplay and better map design. The second one has better music and the bonkers crazy hop and the pyramid mode that is infinitely more fun than its predecessor, the Crazy Box. So overall, it just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Sometimes I'm in the mood to listen to All I Want and Americana and drive around what's essentially San Francisco. Other times, I just want to hop around to the tune of No Brakes. Really, there's no one Crazy Taxi game between the two that's better than the other. It's just 100% personal preference and what the mood calls for. Well, I think that's all I have to say about Crazy Taxi 2. If you liked the video, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. And check out our Discord, The Dragon's Den. I will link it down below. And don't forget to visit our itch.io page. Yep, this is a game studio, so of course, we make video games. Right now, Nova Rebellion, our first game, is already out. And with that, this is the Anti-Gamer Slayer, signing off.